What's up guys? Happy Halloween. I'm finally putting up part 2 of this video. I am kind of annoyed with myself because at the time of making this video, I was really excited and just like really ready to take YouTube seriously, and school has just really wrecked me. It's been really hard to do anything but go to school, work, and sleep. But anyways, here's part 2, the rest of the stuff I have to say about myself. So enjoy.
And it's a graveyard smash.
Okay, so after a snack, some seltzer water, and Kim Kardashian True Hollywood Story, I am back and ready to do my second pumpkin. So let's get into it. And I'm excited to keep talking about myself. Okay, so I guess we can start with reality TV. I love The Challenge. I love Jersey Shore, obviously, Jersey Shore Vacation, all of those spin-offs. Love Island. I'm addicted. I love it. And it's funny because I do not have cable. I'm strictly Netflix and Hulu girl. That's coming from a financial thing. I probably would have cable if I could afford it, but I can't, so I don't. And my parents have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. Forgot to name that one earlier. So there's so much content on there to watch and being added all the time that justifiably I can't justify buying or paying for cable when there's all this stuff to be watched still, basically. Whenever she doesn't spend the night all that often just because we're adults and busy, but my friend Mira will spend the night every once in a while, and before we go to bed she's like, okay, what reality show are we gonna be watching? Because I'm always like putting one on before bed. So yeah, that's just me. I don't know. I love it. I love watching the Kardashians. I love watching Jersey Shore. I love watching The Challenge. Those are like my real main ones, but yeah, I freaking love it. And it's weird because I don't know if it's just because I haven't ever really gotten into it, or like because I haven't watched enough of it, but I'm actually not really into The Bachelor or The Bachelorette or whatever. But again, I think that's just because my mom didn't really get into watching The Bachelorette and all of the until after I moved out, or it felt that way at least. So I didn't get that exposure. So that's one that I don't really watch, but I have a feeling that if I could get into it. I guess in the same realm of like media, some YouTubers that I'm into right now, all of the Vlog Squad, basically. I'm such a hoe for them. Probably shouldn't say that, but I just love watching their videos with David, Carly and Aaron, Jeff, Scott, Todd, Zane, all of them. I'm sure I'm leaving someone out, but Keith. I just love watching their videos and seeing what they're up to, and they're so entertaining and they're so fun. They seem like such a fun group of people. That's why me and Ashley have seen Scotty 2 times now this year. Yeah, so them, and then obviously also like Jane Dawson, Jenna Marbles, like the OGs, Grace Helbig. But I also really like, there's a series that Comedy Central has on YouTube called, shoot, now I forget what it's called. What the heck is it called? Ari Shaffir used to host it. He doesn't anymore. And I'm honestly not sure if they even make them anymore. I know that they did have a different host, either still or at one point. Gosh, what the heck? I can't think of what that's called, but basically, essentially, I don't think it's called One Crazy Night, but They have different comedians come on and they tell like a crazy story basically. And I love watching those. They're so funny, especially if you're into comedy like I am. I watch a ton of stand-up. It's so fun to watch those because they're typically no longer than 30 minutes, and a lot of times they're a lot shorter than that. It's just like the perfect thing to watch like while you're doing your makeup or, you know, whatever, cooking breakfast or something like that. So I watch a lot of that. I'm really blanking on like people I watch on YouTube. Emma Chamberlain, Olivia Rohr, I guess is how you say it. I don't know. Amanda Pavlard. I don't know how to say her name either. And then Hannah Mosh, Ellie, whatever her last name is. With all those like Visco type girls. Marla Catherine. I've recently been watching a ton of Best Dressed because I love clothes, and I also want to get more into like interior decorating. Not as a profession, but just in my own home. So I've been watching a ton of her stuff, but I've kind of had to like calm down on that because I've watched so many that like when I just have it on like autoplay, I end up just watching the same ones because I've seen them all. So anyways, yeah, I watch a ton of her. Yeah, I guess those are my main ones, like my go-tos recently. Okay, I just got the inside of this one cleaned out. My phone shows that my battery's about to die, so I am going to get my charger, and then hopefully I can find a place. Well, I can charge it from my laptop. Never mind. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm gonna get my charger, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. My phone is charging now. Also, I had to be really stealthy because Presley's still napping in there, and I want him to keep napping because he needs it. And also, it will be quite the distraction during this video if I don't let him continue to nap. So, anyways, yeah, I also grabbed, so while I was watching that Kim Kardashian thing, I was looking at these little pumpkins that I have on my coffee table, and I thought that that would be a pretty easy design to do, especially since I didn't go and get the pumpkin carving kit, so I'm still working with the same knife. That's kind of hard to deal with, so I thought that that would be fairly easy. It's all like angles and stuff like that rather than having to do any circles or anything like I normally would. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna get after it. I'm not sure where the best side is. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna grab this so I have it in view. So anyways, back to, actually I'm gonna take a drink of this first. Should I put a little like Emma Chamberlain like slurping sound over it? Anyways though, so back to media consumption. I listen to a ton of podcasts. So the way that I do it, I listen to predominantly all of my podcasts on Spotify, just because that's just, I prefer it. I listen to all my music on Spotify. It's just kind of like second nature to listen to them on there. So the way that I do it is I download 5 at a time. So okay, so I'll just give you an example with like some of the podcasts that I listen to. So My Favorite Murder was the first, not the first podcast, but the podcast that kind of got me back into listening to podcasts because I hadn't for a really long time. In that same genre, The Murder Squad with Billy Jensen and Paul Holes. I listened to Do You Need a Ride, which is Kieran Kilgariff's other podcast, which I love. It's so funny. They pick up comedians and give them rides to or from the airport, and it's just really funny. I listened to Call Her Daddy and Guys We because those are funny. Just kind of whatever. I don't know. They're just funny. I guess that's all I really have to say about that. Yeah, so I listen to a lot of podcasts because it's just really nice too, because I spend a ton of time in the car because, like I said, I have to drive an hour to school. Well, I think I said that, but I have to drive an hour to school almost every day, 4 days a week. So, gosh, this will not come out. So I need to fill the time. And it's nice because you can download those podcasts on Spotify so they don't use any data while you are listening to them, which is like super nice because my mom is always yelling at us for using up all the data. So that's been a good way to combat that. But I also listen to a lot of music and stuff too, but sometimes, especially after class, it's just really nice to kind of unwind and listen to someone talk and just like, that's it. So, yeah, I really like to do that. Other things that I like to do that I don't, feels like I don't have any time for, I really like to ride my bike. I have attempted Bike Across Kansas twice. Successfully finished once, and the reason that I wasn't able to finish the second time, I got halfway through, and then some sort of stomach virus was like a ton of people got sick, like 100 people got sick or something like that, and I was one of them, so I wasn't able to finish, and I had to go home. I would like to do it in the future. I just have to figure out the logistics because obviously at that time I was not a mother. Yeah, just got to figure out how to make it work. But I would love to do it again someday, and I wish that my friends would also do it someday because I think we would all have a really good time biking across Kansas. It's super fun. And I think people get intimidated, but it's really not as hard as it sounds. It's a 7-day ride, and you bike from border to border, so from the border of Colorado to border of Missouri. It's about 500 miles. They change the route every year though, so like sometimes you go this way, sometimes you go this way, sometimes you go straight down the middle, sometimes you go down the bottom, the top, whatever, like they change it up. Yeah, it's super, super fun though. Everyone is super friendly, all different kinds of skill levels, so. And honestly, the thing that I like to tell people is that the first time that I did it, and probably the second time too, honestly, but I pretty much got in shape on the ride because I rode a little bit before, but it was no more than like 20 miles or something like that. So you can do it, and it's not that hard because it's a supported ride, so they have a SAG stop every like 10 or 15 miles, so you don't have to take advantage of them every time, but you're welcome to, so you can stop, have a snack, fill up your water bottle, all of that, so that is a bonus. And it's just, I don't know, you get off a lot and you see a lot of different sights and do lots of like touristy things, so it breaks up the ride really. But then there's other days like where there were some days me and my dad would wake up at like 4 a.m. and take off and just kind of like bust ass there because it does get kind of hot. One thing about biking across Kansas is that the temperature can be kind of difficult. But other than that, like, I don't know, it's just so fun and the community, and it's such like a bonding experience between me and my dad. So it's just a really cool thing, and I wish more people would do it. I wish more young people would do it because the average age of the riders is like 60 or something like that, which in itself is crazy because like that's just incredible that 60-year-olds are, riding across Kansas. And it also kind of makes you feel like a slacker, Yeah, I don't know. It's just so freaking fun. And you meet so many interesting people and make so many great connections and stuff like that. It's just a really cool thing, and I wish more people would do it. I would like to do some of the other cool ones, like one that I heard a lot about while doing Bike Across Kansas was there's one it's either from Seattle to Portland or Portland to Seattle. I'm not sure which way you ride. But people say that was really, really a really cool ride too. So, and the RAGBRAI and BAM, Bike Across Missouri, that is something that I wish I could do more of. My dad got me a trailer that Presley can ride, like a pull behind trailer so Presley could ride with me, and I wish that I would have taken better advantage of that this summer. But we did a ton of traveling, and I also had a kind of intense summer class because it's shortened class, obviously, because it's only 8 weeks, and that just took up a lot of time. And then working and everything else is just it was a lot, so I wasn't able to ride as much, but I'll still be able to use it next year because Presley's still gonna be a little boy in the summer. But yeah, so that's something that I enjoy. I also recently have gotten into cooking, which is, look at this, I think I did a pretty good job on this. But I've gotten into cooking recently, and here's what I've been doing because I've been very intimidated with cooking in the past. This is what I have learned to do, or this is how I've been like tackling it, because I have a Pinterest board full of recipes, and one day I was like, God, like, cause, okay, I need to slow down because I'm not thinking clearly. So I have a ton of recipes on Pinterest that I'm like, I should make these one day. But then when I go onto Pinterest to look at the recipes and figure out what I need to make to go, or what I need to get from the grocery store, I start to get intimidated by the recipes or by the ingredients and stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find this ingredient in the store, you know, like I have no idea where it is. But what I've made myself start doing is I scroll to the very bottom of my Pinterest board. The board is called like dinner or something, I don't know. I just make whatever the last recipe is, and then if I like it, I delete it from that board and put it on a new one called Made and Liked. So that way, if I want to make it again, it's right there. I don't have to go like hunting for it. And also, I just like have to make whatever that last recipe on the board is. So this week, and what I got from the grocery store while I was also getting these pumpkins was spicy, the name of the recipe is like spicy shrimp with garlic, cauliflower mash, and kale or something like that. That's totally incorrect, but that's the gist of it. So I got those ingredients from the store. I'm going to make it tonight. And the other reason I started doing this was because it's just me and Presley. And so I don't do a ton of, well, whatever. I wasn't cooking very much because I was like, I just have all these leftovers. So basically what I do is I cook something on Sunday, and then I just eat it for the whole week, either for lunch or dinner or whatever. Because I have to pack my lunch a lot, because I either have to eat at work to make up on hours, or I have to eat between classes. And I'm trying so hard not to eat fast food. And I never really was a fast food person, but first, I think it's a stress thing. I think I'm stress eating, that like I cannot get enough of like Taco Bell cheesy bean and rice burritos. But I'm really trying to get away from that because it's obviously not good for you. It's like 1,000,000 calories for just like 2 things on the menu. But anyways, yeah, so I have to pack my lunch a lot. So by making a meal that's traditionally serves like 4 or 6, I have that available to eat during the week. I just finished my second pumpkin. It's a little crooked, but I think it looks pretty good. I think I did really well, especially considering how hard it was to use that frickin' knife. Yeah, so it was really nice kind of just like talking about myself, introducing myself. But I think I talked about a lot of cool things, and I think that I painted a pretty good picture of who I am and what I've got going on in my life. And I think that I'll try and do these sit-down videos kind of more frequently, maybe while I'm just like cooking dinner, because I don't really want to make like instructional cooking videos, because I'm not the type of person that should be teaching you how to cook. But I feel like while I'm making these new recipes, I can one, I can just like link the recipe down in the description if you're interested in making it for yourself. But I can just like talk about either what's going on in my life, a certain topic, a movie I've seen recently, whatever it is. So yeah, I don't know. I just really kind of enjoyed this, and I think that it will give my hopefully new viewers a kind of a taste of the type of person I am and the things I'm interested in and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I guess we will see you in the next video. Bye. Looks so good. I'm really honestly so proud of that.
And it's a graveyard smash.